What's up, guys? Another day, another podcast, certainly another guest. Let's go! Personally, guys, I've had a pretty rough couple days. This podcast is definitely going to lift my mood. What's up, everybody? It's the All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ and the homie Manny Ruffin. Oh, man, what a day. We are back in the lab. We didn't record last week. We just posted some other tea parties and stuff. We have 2 recordings this week. We have a live show this week. Multiple different meetings and deals like that. But very excited that we are. I don't want to say that we're back. It's just like, it's almost like we're doing like pre-recordings of this stuff and then posting it on the back end. We do have another guest today, and we're not really going to bullshit right now. We have a live show where we're going to be talking about this Calvin Ridley stuff.
I was going to say, don't worry, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, if you missed the Calvin Ridley news, or if you think we're missing it, no. Follow We Bet Media on Twitch, and then subscribe if you're feeling friendly to us. We'll be talking about that on there.
And subscribe to the YouTube channel as well.
Hey, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what we're doing well, what we're not doing well. And plus, like, make sure you hit that like button, though, because it lets the YouTube algorithm know that you like what you're seeing. It's going to pump it to other people. But let's get into the show today. We have another guest, return guest, my guy, founder of the #1 analytical stop you need to make all your prop research on, leader of the Bills Mafia, still in my opinion one of the coolest dudes on gambling Twitter. Oh my God, Drippy, let him get him here now. Please smile at the Props.Cash. Looking drippy. Oh my God. Okay, little switch up, new background, little poster behind you. What's good, Pete?
Yeah,
so good to see you, my boy. So good to see you.
Good to see you, AJ and Manny. It's great to be back. I missed you guys.
Yeah, missed you too, man. We're very excited to see you.
Let's go, man.
Wow, dude, how have you been? Like, this is like kind of like a catch up for everything. You know what we've been doing, what you've been doing. Haven't talked to you since when was that? Was that like October?
It was a couple months ago. Yeah,
it's been a couple months. So great to see you again.
Yeah, same with you guys. Lots to catch up on. We've been super busy here at Props.Cash. I've noticed you guys have been busy as well. Yep. Lots happening. Where should we start?
Let's start. Go ahead.
First question I have. I was looking through Props.Cash page, and I'm stumbling through. I'm like, wait, they got a YouTube now? So I'm going through. You guys are doing a little prop puck show. I see you're doing things with Discord. Like, so what's going on? You got YouTube going. You got Discord going. Kind of give us the breakdown of what's been going on.
Yeah, we have a lot of things happening right now. Few main pillars, though, that we're always falling back on. And the main one is education. So we have a propping up show with Wallet Bets and Griffey Bets. Yep. And the main thing is teaching people to understand shots on goals, points in the NHL, and just kind of giving people a gateway or an understanding to these new markets. And so they do an exceptional job at helping people kind of enter this market and find value for NHL specific props. So they've been a huge addition to our lineup. They're on our YouTube. So huge shout outs to them. Our Discord bot seems like it's everywhere now. It's in hundreds of servers.
For sure, I've seen it so many times.
It's an L10, so a last 10 games Discord bot where people can quickly look up stats for a specific prop for players in the NBA or NHL, NFL, and we'll be adding MLB. And it's basically just a quick utility for a Discord server to help people with their research. Again, this is our pillar is education and just giving people kind of unopinionated data to help them make their picks. The other big thing we have going on, and it's probably our most exciting, it excites me the most, is we have a native app dropping in the next couple days.
Let's go.
And I think we had like gone over that ever so slightly in the first show with you, just saying like, is there going to be a feature where it'll be off of the web and then onto like one actual platform?
Yeah, I think it's amazing. I'm so proud of what we built. We need to get it past this final step to get it into people's hands, but I think it's a huge upgrade for our mobile users. We're going to start with just NBA, but in terms of a mobile experience, I'm very, very proud of what we built, and I think it's going to be a huge upgrade for specifically our mobile users. We are putting a ton of attention into our mobile user group and making sure that they are set up to do their research. One other point too is there's a lot of people at work. Our site is blocked at some workplaces.
Nah.
And,
oh my god.
Is that just because like people have that
It can't
wrong?
be. Yeah, we gotta keep the data sheet going. You can't be researching props all day, Jimmy.
That's funny.
So exactly. When it hits 3 p.m., someone's at a desk job. Props.Cash.
Now you can just whip it up on the phone.
Why is everybody on Props.Cash from 2 to 4?
Yeah, right. They're tracking that. So for the app, is there like a set launch date yet on where that's going to be? Because I know you were saying, or when that's going to be, because I know you were saying, you're going to start with NBA, but I know that like NBA season is, wrapping up relatively. Where would that be implemented next season?
No, NBA is coming. I'm hoping we can get it out in the next day or two. There are some.
What the hell? Breaking news.
Grinder. Come on, a grinder.
So it's built, and we've had people testing it, and we're happy with the product right now. But in order to get it into the app stores, there is a certain set of criteria that you have to meet. And we've been having some back and forth with the people at Apple and Google Play just to ensure that we are checking all the boxes for what an app needs to be on those platforms. So yeah, we're ready to go, and the app is more or less ready to go, minus a tiny detail. And so yeah, we're really excited. We're going to do a bit of a soft launch. We want our subscribers to have an opportunity to use it at the beginning, try it for a few weeks, give us a bunch of feedback, and then we'll start making kind of larger announcements. But this is just a little bit of a teaser, and something I know that our subscribers will be really, really excited about.
Yeah, that's actually
so. This kind of like segues me to my next question, because this is no shade to anybody, but I just am scrolling to Twitter. I've been seeing a couple little more platforms pop up, a couple little more softwares. I've been seeing some graphs, some stats pop up that look kind of like Props.Cash, but it's just a game. And I see you guys now. You're doing YouTube, Discord bot, got the app coming out. Is that all kind of things? Are you aware of what the competition is doing, and these are all steps you're taking to keep Props.Cash like 10 steps ahead? Or are you just not really worried about that? Like, listen, if we make the best product, I know they're going to come to us regardless. I don't really listen to the noise.
It's a great question. I think there's a few ways you can parse this answer. And the way that I think about it is, well, at least I enjoy the building aspect and trying to be a couple steps ahead. Mm-hmm. People are copying what we did 6 months ago or 8 months ago. Have at it. We are forward looking. We are focused on growth, and being first to market with some of these ideas matters. And we care about that. So I'm saying we're not paying any attention to the copycats. Mm-hmm. We see them.
I love it.
However, it's not our focus at all. That's our lawyer's focus.
You can only be so mad though, because I did want to ask you that, just to see, like, because you guys can take notes from just a winner's perspective of how it seems like to have someone that's doing something in the industry that looks exactly like you. But like, it's capitalism, it's the game, like. Sure. The people are going to flow to who has the best product regardless. So I just wanted you guys to all hear that, just from a winner's perspective.
Right.
I appreciate that. I used to work at a coffee shop when I was a bit younger, and
you look like a barista right now.
Yeah. And we were the first coffee shop on a street, and we always said if another coffee shop came onto the street, it could generally help us. You know what I mean? Having more tools in the game, as long as it's for quality, is not necessarily a bad thing, I don't think. I think it's great for competition. It's great for us to raise the bar and make sure that we are constantly innovating and improving. It's good to have a little bit of that.
Yeah, and I think just going off that, if a bunch of different people see the other platforms that are doing something similar to what you guys are doing, they're going to want to find the one that is the best and use the best one. So if they're digging and they see, oh, well, this one, I don't know about this one. And then you see Props.Cash and like, all right, so I think I found the best one. I want to go to that one. So let's go back to the app. So in terms of like the paid subscription for all of that, is it somehow like, this is all like technical stuff, but is that connected where just like the website version where you just hit like buy season pass, is it like that on the app, or is there like different steps where you had to like try to connect the payment where it's through the app store or something like that? Because when you sign up to it, or when you get an app, it's like it's a free download, but then it's like there's paid different things inside. Like if you're playing like a game like Clash of Clans, it's like, all right, it's a free download, but if you want to buy the gems or whatever to play, it's like $5.99 for 100 gems or something like that. Is it something where you have to connect different platforms or different technical things to make sure that $20 is going, or that $99.99 for the NBA pass is on the app, or is it any different from how the website's working right now?
It's a great technical question, and there's a lot of thought that's gone into this. So to start, and again, we're going to be collecting user feedback on this, and this is part of the reason why we want to shop this to people as soon as possible. We're going to offer one prop for free, and people can go through a rebounding prop and see all the data that we house for rebounds. But if you want to upgrade to see all prop types, then it'll be the same sort of subscription as it is on the web. So our most popular is the $19.99 a month, and so yeah, we'll have that option on the apps for people to subscribe on the app as well. And that has been a big technical piece to this. We are now taking purchases on the App Store, so we're really excited about this. The app is going to launch worldwide though, so it is pretty huge for us, because we have customers all over the world using Props.Cash. So this is absolutely a massive it's a massive time in the company's journey.
Well, now you can put on your resume app developer, app development, add another tally to that damn resume.
Left corporate and the resume got fatter. How about that? That's a different one for you. Pete, I love you, but I do have to dig into a pain point real quick. So we saw your Bills play an absolute slapper of a game versus the Chiefs. Did not end the way you wanted it to end. I saw a video after the game. Some also guy was from Bills Mafia was like, listen, he was an older guy. It's like, listen, this is for the younger Bills fans. Just you're going through what we went through in the 90s. Just to know that nothing's new. It's the same old Bills. Do you feel like it's the same old Bills, or do you feel like there's a turning point here? Do you feel like, we might go to 4 straight deep playoff runs and lose again, or Josh Allen's another Kelly, or is this another step? Are you guys about to elevate? What do you think? What do you think the future holds for the Bills? And how did you feel after that loss?
Oh man, that loss was devastating. I was watching it with my brothers and their wives, and it was the highs and lows. I'll never forget that. It was kind of Motor City Miracle, Scott Norwood-esque level of Bills loss. It was certainly top 5 of the worst Bills losses that I've watched. But I think the future's bright. I mean, who would you trade Josh Allen for right now?
Facts.
0.
Like
0.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Allen is so good. He has so much upside. I can't remember saying that about any other Bills quarterback in the past.
And the fact that in the in the NFL honors and all the awards and everything, they put the mic on Josh Allen, and he was like, "Well, if they gave both teams an equal chance to win, and they gave us the ball," and he said it right in front of everybody. And I was like, he's still sick
Facts.
about that.
What are your thoughts about the OT rules?
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough pill to swallow, not getting the ball. As soon as we lost, it's going to be hard to stop KC from scoring a TD. I wonder if they'll change that rule in the future. That game seemed like a bit of a turning point, because both teams were scoring at will, and it didn't seem appropriate to determine the outcome that way in that specific case.
Right. And if we look back to, the Patriots and the Chiefs, when the Chiefs lost in the overtime scenario the same way, the Chiefs actually brought that to attention.
Right.
And that was overlooked. Nobody cared. So let's go back to the Discord. So for the bot, is that mainly, obviously it's showing like last 10. Is that also helping like a boatload of, exposure for you guys, because it's in multiple different servers and it just puts out, the last 10 and people see this and like, oh, what's this? Let me go see what this is. Or is that like people know what it is when it's there?
It's a great question. It is, we are reaching hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of bettors worldwide with the Discord bot. We are helping people to grow their own Discord communities by creating utility to help them have feature sets with which to attract people into their Discord. It's all free. Well, I guess we've changed it recently. The admin needs to have a subscription to Props.Cash in order to
That's very smart,
to access the Discord bot, and that's just to ensure that we are keeping it high quality, keeping it online as much as possible, and and also just kind of knowing who the people are who are using it. We like to create those relationships. We are in some of the biggest sports betting Discords in the world. We are on our sports book as one of their main bots. It's just created fantastic reach for us and goodwill in that we are basically helping people, pull up data and see it in a really simple format, so they can do it kind of parallel with their discussions in Discord. And you guys have seen the Discord communities have absolutely blown up in the past 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Everyone is on the Discord right now. It seems like there are some Discords that are in the gambling Twitter community that I heard just got over 10,000 followers and stuff like that. And these are paid, some of them. This is a huge business model that opened up on gambling Twitter over the past year or two.
So is this like a lot of networking for you guys to reach out to these Discords to say, like, we want to put this bot in there to kind of help you out, or some of them coming to you guys saying, hey, this can, like you said, elevate our Discord and our platform and get people that are like, maybe if they want to see why I'm taking, so-and-so to get this many rebounds, here's part of the research that I've done, here are the stats here, this is why. Or is it, you go to them or they come to you, or is it like a little bit of both?
It's mostly people coming to us.
That's really good.
We haven't done much advertising. We haven't done really any advertising other than just on Twitter for it. I think people see the utility in it. And again, we're not offering picks. We're just giving data, and having a little bit of data to back any decision doesn't hurt. So yeah, we kind of label it as like a secret menu item. If you reach out to us, we'll hook you up.
Yeah.
And so we are on the daily adding people. We're adding bots to people's servers and stuff like that. I think that the count now is around 250 servers that we're on. So it's not insignificant.
Has life changed for you at all in the past maybe 6 to 8 months? Like, have you been able to maybe run Props.Cash on autopilot a little bit and do a little more lifestyle things, maybe do some more hobbies or travel a little bit more? Or have you been just working harder than ever with the app launch and all the different things you guys are doing?
I'm doubling down.
See? Another clue. Yeah. Another clue for y'all.
I have my lifestyle changes have not. They are still very much working hard to progress Props.Cash. I need to take a vacation at some point, but people say you're going to burn out if you don't take a vacation. But I just love this project so much.
You do not, and you do not look burnt out. Got the cap on, flannel, laid back.
Like,
this man is not burnt out whatsoever.
I was just gonna cut you off and say, like, if you love what you're doing, then like, it's not gonna, necessarily burn me out in a way.
Yeah, I feel that to my core. I don't feel like I'm going to burn out. In fact, I think what I need to do is I need to. In other parts of my life and other relationships that I have, I've noticed myself spending time with people and still thinking about Props.Cash and thinking about, how we can, work certain things and implement certain things. And I need to get a bit better of like being in the moment when I'm with those people and trying to not develop or think about Props.Cash 24/7. However, that quality, that obsessiveness for the product is also what is driving things to get done and driving progress on the platform. So, there's a good and bad there, but we see a huge opportunity and we're just trying to seize the opportunity.
It's that necessary evil, right? Like, it's like, I want to just be in every present moment, but for some reason there's just things just buzzing off in my head that I can't stop thinking about. Has
Exactly.
Props.Cash kind of reached your inner circle, your family? Like, have you seen people like, yo, I've been using Props.Cash, like at the dinner table or at some parties? Has that ever happened yet?
Oh yeah, for sure. We have we have family and friends using it. they love to support, and I think for a lot of them, it's making them a bit of dough. So
Let's go.
it's 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 always huge when you show up to, like, when I show up to my parents' house or my brother's or friend's house, and they're showing me like their tickets, their winning tickets and stuff. I'm like, let's get it.
Let's go. Because like one of my favorites that I use Props.Cash for is the shots on goals. I mean, in NHL. I mean, it's almost like without saying, it's almost too fucking easy. Like it literally, like I said before, like there's this clip that I was saying like in our first show where it's like, if you see a lot of green on the bar, what are you going to do? You're going to take the over. But if you see a lot of red or you see a lot of stagnant, you're either going to stay away or take the under. It's like that simple. And that's why when we said in our first show together, it was like you guys laid it out in that way where it was like very, accessible and simple for users, that it is that bar graph, but also that it's red and green. It's not like black and white or, gray and yellow or something like that, where it's that simple. So for MLB, I know it's tough to say MLB right now with all the BS going around, but has there been any ideas of things that might be added or things that have changed in the MLB portion of Props.Cash? I know that, the season's coming up and hopefully in a couple weeks if these guys want to stop being jerk-offs, but hopefully is there any change to MLB or something that you guys are doing, or just kind of keeping it the same in what it has been?
Well, last year we had the K props, the out props, inning pitched props, and then the offensive props like hits and home runs. We're going to continue to offer all those props. I think the big addition for MLB will be access to it on the app. I can't stress how much smoother the app is for the mobile experience than the mobile web. I think our mobile web offering is great. I think this is a huge level up. So we're going to have that. We will also be adding MLB to our Discord bot to support Discords that are actively looking at MLB for information. Those are the two big things. But we have an NRFI dashboard. We are
That's so awesome.
Don't do that to me.
Yeah, we are relentlessly trying to find edges in props. We've hired on a full-time employee from Bank of America who specializes in MLB and MLB data and capping, kind of separate from his finance job. However, I think we have very strong in-house MLB representation, and we're going to be flexing on that and trying to find any edge we can. We love MLB around here. We're pretty broken up that they haven't reached an agreement yet, but we understand that these labor agreements happen just so infrequently with MLB that things need to get done. So we're excited. We're optimistic that there will be a season, and we're going to hit the ground running. If for instance, I should also speak if the MLB is delayed, which we know it's going to be a little bit, but depending on the duration of the delay, we will still find ways to be improving the product. It's not like we're just going to take time off and kick back. There's always things to be adding or improving. We're really waiting for the books to start offering golf props. We saw Prize Picks started offering a few, greens and rag, number of birdies, eagles, stuff like that. I think that's, we have to get into golf. We are huge golf fans here, and we're just waiting for some of the major books to start releasing golf props more often.
So talk a little bit about building the team a little bit more. I heard you mention about that, hiring that guy. Have you been moving from more of like a hands-on role, like I'm really in the mess, getting my fingernails dirty, to now hiring people, and now I'm thinking like more long-term, big scope projects? Or are you still that founder CEO that like, regardless how many people I hire, I'm getting my hands in the dirt regardless? Like how's that been going for you?
Yeah, I'm getting my hands in the dirt. We are not a cruise ship. We are a pirate ship.
I like that.
Yeah, it's all hands on deck. We are making very strategic hires, but there's no fluff here. Everybody that's hiring is playing a key role in growing the business. And yeah, there's no kind of pulling back. These new hires, they're spending time on customer support. We are touching all parts of the business together. And I think that's really, really important for culture. and creating an authentic culture that is in touch with the user, because the user is our bread and butter. We really pride ourselves on having best in class customer support. And you can't do that with one person. You can't just hire a support person. It has to be truly embedded into the culture of the company.
Do you get multiple messages a day? Like, I would love to work with Props.Cash. Like, are people trying to like send you resumes and stuff? Like, as it's grown, has like kind of the demand for that being, I want to work with you so bad, kind of grown as well?
It has, yeah. We get a lot of those types of emails or DMs on Twitter. But, I love a lot of them. But This afternoon, for instance, I'm on a call for an hour with a student at the University of Albany, New York, who's the head of his data visualization club, and they would like to start introducing more sports data into their data visualization. So taking an hour out of my day to speak with some of these college students that are trying to become better at either coding or visualizing data for consumption is my favorite part of the job, or one of my favorite parts of the job. And so those emails that I'm getting from people are not a burden. They're awesome. So this, like I said, it's one of my favorite parts of the job.
Yeah, I'm rambling, my fault, but it's so crazy because like when you first started trying to build a platform, right, you wanted to help students, and it's so crazy how at one point, whatever, they just told you to F off or
You're so right
leave,
by that,
and you still double down on yourself. And the one quote I love is that you never know who you will affect when you're operating at your best self. You double down on Props.Cash. Now you're on the phone with college students, giving them free game and telling them how they can break into the game. And it would never happen if you didn't build this platform, which is just crazy. Which everyone needs to understand why you need to be operating at your best.
That's That's your full circle.
Full circle, yeah, exactly.
Because it was like started in students, and now you can still kind of affect these students in a way. And it is also
probably at a larger scale. I mean, not a larger scale, but maybe like a higher ROI experience than.
Well, it's also just giving yourself a lot of that recognition, because they're finding you to be like, I want to talk with this guy because of this data.
Yeah, you feel like the OG these days, like Uncle Props.Cash.
Yeah, not yet. We haven't even celebrated our 1 year anniversary yet.
That is nuts.
So
we just passed ours, and we're like, damn.
True.
So are you guys feeling like, oh, geez, is 1 year the cutoff?
Right.
I mean, it's just been crazy, like, what we've been able to accomplish in a year. Just like, like most people know, like the OGs know, we started out in Zoom. And when this first started, we just saw Kenny get his first big hit on like 100 to win 50K on that Trae Young and Levine bet. And we just sent him a DM, and we're like, do you want to come talk about it? And that was like when we were on Zoom. And then we did the same thing with Jerry, and then the same thing with Cap. And then like we started doing it in here, and then we got more recognition, and then now it's a little bit easy. It's still tough in many ways to get some people to come on, but we're getting a little bit more of that like clarification, and that,
even
I guess
social proof,
a little bit of that status. We're like, oh yeah, you've had this person and this person, like I'll go talk to you. Like we had Scott Miller, who's vice president of product and operations at Action Network last week. So that was really cool. Like we wouldn't expect to get somebody with that status that worked for 6.5 years at ESPN and then is now doing his thing at Action. Like we never would have thought a year ago we'd be in touch with you, that is running this insane platform that has helped us as well as so many other people. Like we're just in contact with so many people that I say to a lot of these other people, like, Kenny, Cat, Bo, Jerry, Prop, like there's a lot of these people that would love to get on the phone with these guys, like their followers. And like, we have that, like, who the hell are we to be like talking to these guys? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, so let's go.
Did you guys ever, sorry, can I ask you guys a quick question? Do you ever go back and look at your first interviews or your second interview and realize that you've come a long way?
Yes, it's so funny you said that. I'm standing right there 5 minutes before this interview, and I was like, yo, I gotta work on my oratory skills. Like, cause I was looking back at old interviews, and I'm like, dude, like, and I still messed up. Like I literally probably 2 minutes into this interview, I already messed it up. But I was like, I gotta really focus on, because I get excited. I get excited. I start getting loud, talking all fast. And it's like, dude, I don't even know what you said. But it's like so ingrained in me that I'm trying hard, but I've been working on it. But yes, I do go back and watch old things, and like it's crazy to see how far we came. Like, and even the stories. It's like he texted me one day, Kenny's ticket for 50 grand. Like, yo, are you seeing this? And then a couple weeks later, I sent him one of Jerry's. Like, yo, this guy too. And it's like we sent each other cat stuff back and forth. And then now it's like we're here. It's kind of like, phew. But then I look at you, and you're like, I'm not even a year into it. And it's like, oh my god, I got it. All right, let me get my bag on. Let's go.
So let's go bigger picture type thing. So what sports books are you necessarily targeting, if any? Right. So you have your own set odds on Props.Cash that say whatever's minus 115. Where are those odds coming from? Are they from a FanDuel? Are they from a DraftKings? Or are we kind of going for, like you mentioned, Prize Picks or BetMGM or Bet Rivers or many different books? Is there a plethora of books that you're kind of targeting throughout Props.Cash, or is there like maybe a couple?
Well, the criteria for us is the book that releases, or the books that release the most lines the earliest. That's what we care about. And we will, we pay for these data across a number of books. So we will switch books around depending on, at this time, this book is releasing more odds than this book, or they're releasing it, 6 hours earlier than this book, for instance. We care about that stuff and we monitor that stuff. But eventually we are moving towards people being able to select, their preference with respect to books. I think that's something that we have to add, and we will be adding. And so people can choose because, everyone's using a different book these days. Some people have multiple books. There needs to be some sort of customization there for the customer to be able to select. The odds are important. The line is important. I mean, it's an important piece, but it's all reflected into the player's data. And so we try to find ways to make the line malleable and change. You can change the line on our platform if you're looking at a book with an alt line, or you're looking at a book that has another line, another primary line altogether. So I think part of it for us is making the platform itself very adjustable and accommodating to the user who may be using a whole spectrum of different books.
Right. Because we learned this from, and this is like, you mentioned how eventually you want to get all those books on there for those odds to pick. And I think that's going to be super beneficial for you, because we learned this from Birdman, where he's a guy that likes to, shop for the best line. So he'll have like a written spreadsheet on literally just a piece of a notebook paper that says like FoxBet has this for an Odell Beckham touchdown. And then every, list of 12 or 13 books that have that. And then he picks the best line. So like eventually like that could be something that even if people didn't want, not saying that they wouldn't, but if they were like, well, I don't really necessarily want to use the research platform, but if I can have a platform that has like, oh, I see all these different books here, I see that this is the best line for this, I'm going to take that. Like, I couldn't even tell you if that's even done before, like, unless you are like Birdman trying to go write all these different things down and like take all that time. So like when you're doing the lines on there, is that like essentially a lot of coding and programming to have that line pop up there? Like, again, all the technical stuff, but is that how that happens? Or is that like, again, I'm like, not even in it. Like, so I'm kind of just like beating around the bush, trying to make the question make sense.
Yeah, for sure. It's all our stuff is custom built. So there's been a lot of programming that's gone into making this happen. There are challenges. We have data coming in from different sources. One challenge I think most developers can relate to in this space is one data set may have a different naming convention, like Robert Williams III. You might get that third in one data set, and then you'll just get Robert Williams in another data set. You have to find ways to connect these two. So there are some very specific engineering challenges with connecting sports data that developers in this space would be acutely aware of. So yeah, there are challenges.
So what's kind of like the end game, or like the North Star for Props.Cash? Like, am I going to start seeing it in FanDuel when I hit a player prop? They're going to give me the Props.Cash last 10, or am I going to see it on like Daily Wager and they'll show you the last 10 of certain props? Or do you just want to be the biggest hub, have the biggest app, have a huge office? Like, what's kind of your goal, your North Star? Because I feel like when you start building things that are crazy, people stop asking you those type of questions. It's like, oh, he made it. But like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's some big goals there that you
Especially
still get
not
to.
being year one yet. You know
Exactly. There's some big goals up there that you haven't scratched into yet.
Yeah, I mean, for me, we touched on this in our last interview, but it's simple for me. It's to find ways to keep building the best props tool in the market. And as you grow, there are more and more distractions to doing that. And so a big part of it is managing those distractions, hiring people to help. I shouldn't call them distractions, but different things happening in the business. There's different mechanics as you scale. Different people take interest, and there's a different gravity to certain decisions. But having people to help manage those decisions to basically create a laneway for the creatives and the developers and the cappers to continue building the best props tool. To me, that's the North Star, man. I think we're far from a perfect tool. I think our app is a huge step in the right direction. I think we're going to have a best-in-class props app. I know we will. And I just want to keep improving it. We get hundreds of pieces of feedback every month. We know that there are things that we can add to the platform to improve it. And we're not willing to settle. We're still a long way away. The other thing to note is that you guys probably noticed this too, being in the props market for a while now. It evolves and it changes. Something that might have been valuable a year ago is not necessarily the most valuable piece of information today. So we need to be evolving and finding ways to find edges and allow users to kind of optimize for their plays. And it's not like we just built something and it's good forever. We need to constantly be reevaluating whether we can do certain things to improve the platform itself. So that's the North Star. I think when startups, the other thing too I should state is that we are a profitable business. We're not actively like a lot of startups are being built on borrowed money. And so they have to spend a huge amount of time seeking out money, ensuring that there's money in their bank accounts. And it can sometimes lead to the platform not getting the attention it needs because the priority is putting money in the bank. We want to avoid that. And I think we are doing a very good job of doing that. We want the focus to be on the building of the platform, and that's represented in our culture and how we perform each week. So I hope that answers the North Star question.
It does. I think
it's a simple one for me.
I think it's even awesome that it had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with I see it here. I want it to be here. I want this guy using it. It was literally like, I want to have the best product for my customers. I don't like,
right.
If I make the best product for my customers, if we make the best podcast for people that are watching it, everything else takes care of itself. I think that was a huge takeaway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And absolutely.
So for bigger picture type things, at the very beginning, was this the app? Was the app on that, project board of eventually we want to do the app? Or was that kind of like, all right, well, we've kind of done so much with the web and now we can move it to one sole platform. It's easy to access, download it from the App Store, and it's everything that we had from the web is right there. Plus,
Sure, it's easier to get ad revenue with the app too.
Sure, yeah. Was it always on that big project board, or was this something that like maybe down the line, you were just like, this actually could be a lot better than the web in a way?
Yeah, at the start, it wasn't necessarily on the roadmap, but we're evolving and we are taking our customer feedback, and we are trying to create as many avenues for people to research as possible. We know that people are always not going to be behind a desktop computer. We know that they won't always be on Discord. I think this is just another lane with which someone can do their research. And I think it's important for us that we are creating tooling that fits into these main lanes that people use for research. And the app is going to be one of them. I've built apps before and put enterprise apps to production. And so thankfully where I am, I have connections, people that I've built apps with before. And so I've assembled a team of strong developers to help me build the app. I couldn't have done it on my own. And we're seeing it to the finish line. Yeah, I can't speak highly enough. It sucks that I wanted the app to be out by now so you guys could see it and we could speak to it, because I'm so proud of what we built. But you're going to see it in a couple of days, and I can't wait to get your feedback. We're gonna open the floodgates for feedback, and it's not a finish line releasing the app. It's like a new starting line. We have a new product in market, which has the potential to be our biggest product, and the iteration starts the day it's released to users. We have had beta testers testing it, and the responses we're getting are phenomenal. But we need people to go through with a fine-tooth comb and be like, nah, this needs to be improved. Right. Nah, like this could be a little bit better. That's what we're looking for.
So for maybe some of the questions that users might be asking when the app comes out, is this going to transition like the website to the app? Are you essentially transitioning to move off of the web and go all onto the app, or are you still going to have that web feature? Because I know like some people might be saying, well, am I not going to be able to use the web anymore? But then people that get the app are going to be like, I don't really give a shit about the web anymore. I have the app. So are you going to still be able to do both, or is it just we did everything on the web, we're all moving to the app?
We're going to be maintaining the web. The web is a core product for us, and we have so many people on the web. We don't want to alter that experience at all. I think we've been putting so much emphasis on the app itself for the past few months that we're going to circle back to the web platform and make sure we're addressing the feedback that people are delivering us on the web platform itself. It's in its evolution as well. Like I said, it's not even a year old. We want to build this thing and improve it. And so we're going to be continuously working on the web as well as continuously working on the app. We may need to hire a few more developers, but we are growing and we are hiring. Developers are hard to find right now.
Hey.
But if you guys want to learn to code,
hit him up with a DM. You're almost tackling like this two-headed beast almost, because you had the web and then now you have the app. So it's almost, with this whole developer process and the programming and the coding, you're doing two of like the biggest, hardest things to do for building a platform like this.
Well, I appreciate that. I think from a technical architecture standpoint, there are architectural and engineering decisions that you can make that minimize the work you have to do across all these platforms. You can have things that share. A little bit better. Yes, and so I don't think people are going to see them as kind of independent entities to some extent, but from a technical standpoint, they are not. They share, for instance, like a similar data layer. I won't get too into it, but there is code that supports both. And so there's only a percentage of the code that is different that we need to support. So they're not totally mutually exclusive. Guys, I've really enjoyed this conversation. I have a hard stop here at 12:30, unfortunately. But this has been fantastic to catch up with you guys. I don't know if you have any other questions or
my only last one that I was just gonna get to was just if you could touch on your content and the content that you've been doing with YouTube. Why was that a thing? How did those ideas come? Was that more for exposure? And how were you able to execute that moving forward?
I think it's just a pillar of education for us. I would like to be on a video every day, running through the way that I think about the platform and kind of formulate my NBA plays, because I think it benefits the user when they see other people and the way that they use the tool. We notice that people use it very differently, but it's nice when you have kind of a North Star or an anchor. You're like, this person uses the tool successfully and this is their method. And maybe I don't fully agree with their whole method. I'm going to go on a tangent and and do something my own way. But I know that this formula in general creates plus EV or creates, a good situation for profitable betting. I think we're not doing a good enough job, and we can do better at having some of our power users, and we have a number of them, kind of communicate how they use the tool effectively. One side of it is not touching on it too much and just allowing people to be fully creative and fully find their own way of doing it. The other side is kind of helping people get to a point and then they start to become creative on their own. The big thing with the platform is if people are using it daily or a few times a week, they start to develop this like cache of knowledge. They know that that DeRozan, has hit his points in his last 9 games, or he hit in his last 9 games and he's missed in his last 3. People start to like develop a real living understanding of the stats from day to day, and it really helps them mature in finding kind of soft spots in the lines. And so, yeah, I don't know if you guys have experienced this. I'm
100%,
sure,
100%.
Very good way to put it.
Yeah. So that part of it can't be understated, and that part requires effort from the user, right? They have to build up this understanding. I think what we do is we just make it considerably easier for someone to develop this daily understanding or this daily kind of continued build of knowledge using our platform. You can do it with us in 15, 20 minutes, whereas if you were looking through all the box scores and building your own Excel sheets and stuff, it might take like 3 or 4 hours. Yeah.
That's amazing, P. I know you got to run. Thank you so much for your time. We love talking to you. We
Another
love
banger
you, man.
with the leader of Bills Mafia, the coolest guy on Twitter.
Yeah, AJ, Manny, this is a special treat for me to come on the show, and I love seeing your guys' growth as well. I watched the Auburn videos. You guys threw that down pretty hard.
We got a couple more colleges on the schedule for the fall, so we're super excited to keep putting out that type of content.
I can't wait to watch it, and I mean, shout out, just everything you guys are doing, and just the creative work that anybody is doing in this space. If you are building on something from one day to the next and making a better product in whatever your specialty is, like, kudos to you, because it's one day at a time.
Yeah, and it means a lot hearing it from a guy like you that has done so much in such a technical aspect, adding different things to your resume.
I'll say one, I appreciate that, and I'll say one last thing. I saw a couple videos of you guys out golfing. I got to get down to Philly, New Jersey area.
Oh, no, you did not.
I got to take you guys out for 18.
Hey, that'd be amazing. We'll be in touch. I know that it's
calling him Pitching Wedge Pete, baby. Pitching Wedge Pete.
It's starting to get a little warmer out, so we'll definitely be in touch. We would love to, finally see you in person, and then, hopefully one day we can start getting on planes and flying up to you and doing this whole thing in person, right?
Big facts.
I would love that. I got a couple courses I could take you guys out to. So.
That's awesome. We'll totally be in touch. I know it's getting warmer out. Well, thank you so much. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you, man.
Love talking to you, and we love you. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, guys. See you.
What a G.
I mean, he's just like...
What a G.
Like, we're so... Like I said, from like when we're talking about those guys, like, he's... Like, we're so fortunate to talk to these people, dude. Like, it's just not... It's not right that we're...
Nah, you gotta know, but the drip evolution. We gotta highlight the drip evolution. First show, he's in there a little button down, you know what I'm saying? Look like he's going to go teach a class. Let me come in this. Oh my God.
I think it was a California Republic hat.
Got a California Republic hat on, got the shades, nice little new flannel. Probably has some jeans on.
You see the Vlad Guerrero Jr.?
Yeah, I saw the Vlad. Yeah. He talking about my lifestyle ain't changed. All right, I see you, boy.
Dude, he's so
That's
cool.
my dog.
And we can't wait to meet him.
Bro, one of the coolest OGs I've met in this community. Like him and Jerry, top 2. Like I don't even know who the Jews OG was. Like
it's just we are
true gem of the community.
We're just like I'm at like a loss of words at getting that reassurance and that credit from him.
Facts.
Of the decisions that we've been doing and a lot of these meetings that we have coming up in terms of where we want to go next and what we're doing in the future. It just helps to hear from a guy like that. And again, he's not even at his year mark. Like that's just wild to know. So if you guys do want to sign up to Props.Cash, I know if you're seeing this, the app has already been released, but you can download that in the App Store. If you want to use the web version, head over to www.props.cash, and you will be able to see all the props that we see on an everyday basis. It helps our research and what we want to bet. It makes it so much easier than going to these 9 different pages to see what, like he said, what DeMar DeRozan did in his last, 9 or 10 games. And then obviously, if you want to follow us on our Twitter page at 8080 Podcast, Instagram at 8080 Pod. The Facebook page is just the name of the show. You can listen to the podcast on there. If you don't want to listen on Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts.
Facts.
TikTok page is the name of the show. We are pumping out content there, and hopefully we can get a couple more viral clips, and then Creator Fund and TikTok can start sending out that money.
That TikTok, bro.
You got that YouTube?
Yeah, we already hit it. We already hit it in the
said it.
beginning,
We
but
gotta
if
say it
you
again.
did
Fuck
like
'em.
if
Fuck
you did
'em.
like what you saw, I mean, drop me a like, comment.
Right.
Please let us know what you like and don't like. I haven't seen a lot of constructive criticism. Like, you guys are coming with your pitchforks and fires when we complain about Kenny Pickett, but I mean, let me get some
Facts,
pitchforks
bro.
and fire when I have a bad show, or let me get some confetti when I have a good show. You know what I mean? But like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit that notification bell, because YouTube gets weird with the sub boxes sometimes. And all day, every day, show boys signing off.
And to the fucking moon.
That's
Props.Cash, like, it's just always a blast with you, and it never won't be. You've been listening to the All
But
Day
nah,
Everyday
make sure
Show.
y'all hit that notification bell though, because even my sub box, sometimes the videos don't pop up. I'm like, yo, what's good? You too? Like,
It happens, guys. With All Day
wasn't a shameless
AJ
plug, I promise.
and homie Manny Ruffin. My name is Alex Jacobs. You can call me All Day AJ. We love you, Pete. And we can't wait to get on the course with
Absolutely
you.
love you, Pete.
Can't wait to get on the course with you,
Pitcher
Pete.
Wedge Pete, that turned me up, man. Pitcher Wedge Pete. Fuck they talking about?